Hey NoteTakers, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for tuning in and welcome back. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy the videos because we have fun this side. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you aren't a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe button to join in on the fun. Don't be shy. Alrighty, let's get into some legal affairs. So, on today's video, we'll just be discussing my background, the importance of engaging with my YouTube posts, the playlist this video will go under, the channel changes for my channel for June. Then I will be discussing some of my favorite Addison Rae songs from her new album. Then I will briefly go through Brit Eady's lawsuit, and then I will also briefly go through Justin Baldoni's dismissal, and then some closing remarks. Okay, just some background on myself. My name is RHOA, but I prefer Ria. I am currently a 4th year UNISA BA law student, wanting to engage with other law students, individuals who are lovers of the law, soccer fans, and to connect with viewers from around the world. If you have any content suggestions or you're just wanting to reach out, feel free to email me at rianoted@gmail.com. Again, my channel email is rianoted@gmail.com, where you can share some feedback. Okay, so for this video, I will be discussing the lawsuit of Brit Eady of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, as well as the dismissal of Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. You may or may not have noticed, I changed my YouTube banner. And you can see here, it's usually purple. And my profile picture, they're both Addison Rae themed, all yellow and whatnot. Don't judge me, guys. I'm having an Addison Rae moment. So, yellow Addison Rae for the month of June. Yay! Because she released her album in June. I feel like the Brit Eady lawsuit and Justin Baldoni dismissal is current news. So, this video will go under the Ria Currently playlist. Okay, speaking of Addison Rae, her album, oh my gosh, it is so good. I'm actually impressed, like surprisingly impressed. For me, there wasn't a song I skipped. I listened to each song. Her songs were honestly just so pleasant. Listening to her songs, it felt like fun, 2000s, nostalgic, poppy, wave of fresh air, grunge experience, truly. Just something different. These are my favorite songs from her album. So when I was listening to her album, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put my headphones on. Okay, that's the name of the song. Like my headphones on in my room. And the first song that played was New York. I think the first thing she said was, take a bite out of the Big Apple. And the song just started and I was like, oh my gosh. I already knew from that first song that I was gonna love the album. And that's really rare for me with albums. listened to New York like so many times. I listened to it this morning when I was making breakfast. So yeah, I love New York. Just like the ending, it's very dancey, poppy. I also love Money is Everything. I love the intro, and I'm paraphrasing here. She's saying her mom told her to do something with her money. I can't remember. But yeah, I really love Money is Everything. I love Summer Forever. I love In the Rain, just like that beat. I also love Fame is a, you know what? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. And also Life's No Fun Through Clear Waters. I don't know if I should do a video reviewing the songs, I'll see. But I will give New York 5 out of 5. And Money is Everything 5 out of 5. The rest I will give 4 out of 5. But I love New York. It's so catchy. Sorry, it's so catchy and freeing, and I dance to it in my room. So I really love this album. It's kind of all I've been listening to. Just me, my headphones on, dancing in my room. Anyway, so listen to Addison Rae's album. It is so good. It's different. It's a different sound. I love the energy, the synergy, positivity. Listen to the album. It's amazing. Okay, again, make sure you check my post section regularly because I didn't record a video for Friday, 13 June, and Friday the 13th, I didn't realize, and I had put up a thing saying, hey, NoteTakers, feeling a bit under the weather, so sadly, no new video this week. I'll be back with new videos on 20 June, which is today. See you soon, Ria. I don't know, I just felt incredibly drained and tired and lethargic. I think listless, all the L words. I don't know, I just felt really tired. I think also I maybe might have pushed myself a bit too much when I was studying for my medical law exam, which honestly, it didn't go too well. I don't know if I overstudied or understudied. I was just so frazzled. It was a morning exam. I think I was writing 8 till 10:30. Didn't sleep the night before at all. I think I closed my eyes at 2, and then I had to wake up at 6:45 to eat something and do some revision. I was incredibly nervous. I was tired, but also normally I check my UNISA emails the night before an exam and the morning of an exam, just to see if there's any info or anything. There really is. So I was checking my UNISA email, and then messages from my personal email came in. Just a really sad email. I had applied for this job that I had really, really wanted. And as always, didn't get the job. So I think that also kind of threw me off. Gosh, I must have looked insane because when you write multiple choice, your camera has to be on. Because I think I was like crying, but also trying to read through my notes. I was reading the Constitution, just revising. I blanked on a few questions. I forgot the difference between and this is so embarrassing, I forgot the difference between a zygote and a gamete, which is the simplest thing when you study like medical law. But yeah, my stupid nerves got the better of me, and I was just sad I didn't get that job. So I kind of had to calm myself down, but I was still like pretty upset. So I think I finished writing at 10:19, because I write everything down, and you know, when I was done with my exam, just double check that everything's in order, check my emails again, and then I just collapsed onto my pillow and just like was crying for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, I'm hungry. So I think that also was why I was like under the weather, because applying for work is honestly, it's really hard. Hopefully I passed the exam and did well. I honestly don't know. It wasn't a good day. Anyway, I'm crossing fingers. And you know, to anyone out there who's like struggling, looking for work, struggling with unemployment, you're not alone. So I feel a bit better today, but I feel like I just needed a day to like, a few days to like calm down, because it's really discouraging. But you know, gonna carry on applying. And then I also put up a post, because I always put up a post when I record a video on the morning off. So yeah, just engage with my post. We are saying new video out tonight. The title, Justin Baldoni but Brit too. Just discussing the bombshell Brit Eady Bravo lawsuit, the surprising Justin Baldoni lawsuit dismissal, and the access to Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's text messages, which should be really interesting. So yeah, just engage with the posts, like trying to grow the community. So today we're discussing two, I think, legal adjacent topics: lawsuits. Okay, before I carry on, I just want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was on the road to 150, but we surpassed that. Now I am on the road to 250, so please keep liking, please keep sharing, trying to reach 250. You know, the channel mantra, let's say it all together: RHOA knows it will grow, RHOA knows it will do well, and RHOA knows it will reach more people. So I am now on the road to 250 subscribers, so I would appreciate a subscribe or a like, whatever you prefer. Okay, so as I said, I feel like this is current news, so it will go under the RHOA currently playlist. Okay, so we're gonna start with going through Brit Eady's lawsuit. So I know her from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was one of the new cast members. I mean, to be quite honest, I haven't watched season 16 yet, because I've just been so busy with, I was busy with assignments, I was busy studying for exams, then I was busy with my portfolios. So I think I will probably try and watch it this weekend. I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever be good as the good old days, but I will watch it. So I haven't watched the episode. I'm more focused on the legal side. But I'll try and watch it. I don't know. I'll see. Alrighty, so this is a screenshot of Brit Eady's lawsuit. So Brittany Eady, or as she's known as Brit Eady, she filed a lawsuit. She is the plaintiff, as you can see here. And these are the defendants: Truly Original, Bravo, NBC Universal, Animal, Shine, and then like people in the individual capacity, Jane or John Doe 1 to 5. So obviously, I guess they didn't put their names just to protect them. So these are the defendants in her lawsuit. I was honestly shocked when I saw in the news that she had filed a lawsuit. Because I hadn't really been watching the show, and I wasn't really well versed in what was going on until I read the lawsuit. So I've read the lawsuit, and now I wanna go watch the show and see exactly what happened. But the lawsuit kind of lays out what happened. I want to see it now that I've read the lawsuit in those eyes. So I like reading stuff on Courthouse News Service. They really, because I'm not really well versed in American law, but Courthouse News Service kind of helps in making it easier to understand the legal terms and whatnot. And they provide detailed legal information. Well, for me at least. So I found the summons on Courthouse News Service. Here it says Real Housewives star sues network. I think network as in Bravo, NBC, Truly Original, I think. So it says there, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Brittany Eady is suing NBC and Bravo for $20 million for defamation and harassment stemming from an incident in which she says a cast member showed a live audience an explicit photo claiming that the person in the photo was Brit Eady. Eady wants the network to remove the episode. So again, I'm not really well versed in American law, so I'm gonna try my best, so bear with me. I also want to try my best to be as brief as possible, because this is an ongoing legal matter and I don't want to do anything bad or legal or anything that's not in line with the law. So yeah, just gonna be brief. Okay, anyway, first let's discuss what a summons is in American law. So in my opinion, a summons is essentially a legal document which it's basically summoning someone, like you're summoned to the court, you need to come to the court. So this document, the summons, it serves as a notice to someone that, hey, legal action has been taken against you, and that someone has to appear in court to defend themselves or explain themselves, whatever the case. Also, the legal document informs this person who's being summoned what will happen should they decide not to appear. So, in essence, the consequences of not adhering to a summons. I mean, it would be, I don't know if it would be wise to ignore a summons, because, yeah, there will be consequences. And usually a summons is prepared by the plaintiff, which in this case is Brit Eady. So, in my opinion, I would say the summons is kind of like, it kickstarts the legal process, like that's the groundwork. So if we look at Brit Eady's summons, I didn't put up like the actual documents, but you can go to Courthouse News Service, and in this article there's a link and the document is there and you can read it. I just like summarized it. So if we look at Brit Eady's summons, does it adhere to the requirements of a summons? Okay, so it has to be prepared by the plaintiff. Check. It was prepared by Brit Eady, and I assume with her legal team. It's a notice that legal action has been taken. Check. She's informing the defendants that, hey, you guys defame me, and that's the consequence. And also it informs what will happen should the served party decide not to appear in court. Check. So basically, the defendants, which again are Truly Original, Bravo, NBC, Endemol, and the Jen and John Doe parties, they have to serve a copy of their notice of appearance within 20 or 30 days. So the defendants serving a copy is giving the defendants a chance, because that's what the law is about. You have to give both parties equal chances. So they have to serve a copy of the notice of appearance. In other words, that they will appear in court, because the summons is summoning you to court. So they have to respond, okay, we'll be coming to court within 20 or 30 days. So if the defendants fail to serve a notice of appearance that they are going to court, then a default judgment will be entered against the defendants. So it'll be just by default. And the relief that is demanded by the plaintiffs might be awarded. So for me, in my opinion, essentially, if the defendants, being Truly Original, Bravo, NBC, if they fail to serve a notice that they are going to be appearing to court, by default, then they have to pay the plaintiff the relief the plaintiff is seeking, which is 20 million. But now, why wouldn't the defendants appear in court? The only reason you wouldn't appear is if what the plaintiff is saying is true, or if you just want to settle. You don't want to, I think, you don't want to take like the matter further. That's just my opinion. Also, I don't know if not appearing is an admission of guilt. Is it? Maybe. So to me, it seems like the defendants are in a bit of a tight spot, because if you appear, then you have to go through the legal route. I think of like a trial or whatever, and that means the plaintiff having access to the defendant's like Bravo, NBC, like their personal documents. In this case, it would be like Real Housewives stuff. So they would have to maybe give that to the plaintiff. But also, if they don't appear, are they hiding something? Are they admitting that they defamed Brit? So is it an admission of guilt that they did something wrong? They're really in a tight spot. I think the only way out of this is either they pay the $20 million, or they admit they're guilty. I don't know. They're in a tight spot. Okay, so I'm just going to be going through a few of the paragraphs. It's not really that long. It's about 6 paragraphs. So paragraph 1, it discusses the nature of this action. I think meaning the cause of the action or the basis of the action. So the nature of this action is defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, false light, I don't know if I'm saying this right, respondeat superior, and hostile work environment. So that's what the action is based on, I think. And then we come to this term respondeat superior. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's a legal term that means let the master answer. So Brit is saying that she had a hostile work environment. So I think maybe this legal term is referencing that, because it refers to holding an employer responsible for the wrongful acts of an employee. These wrongful acts happen within the scope of employment. So maybe that applies to the Jane or John Does that we saw. Like the employer, that could be like Bravo, NBC, maybe the employee, people who work for Bravo, NBC, hence respondeat superior, I think. Remember, not well versed in American law, I'm trying. So I think this legal term applies to that. So the plaintiff is seeking to hold both the employer and employee liable. So together, I don't know, maybe it's similar to vicarious liability. I don't know, I'm not sure. Then we move on to paragraph 2. So paragraph 2, it basically discusses the alleged events. So it lays out what allegedly happened. So we'll start here on 6 June 2024. The event was filmed for the show. It says that one of the show's cast members recklessly, intentionally, and with gross negligence made false, defamatory, harassing, and damaging statements regarding the plaintiff, which is Brit Eady. And this cast member made these statements in front of 200 people. That is mortifying. If someone is saying false things about you in front of 200 people. So this cast member falsely claimed that the photo was of the plaintiff. So this cast member, oh, this is mortifying. This cast member presented a picture alleging that it was the plaintiff. And these 200 people believe that. So, like, the photo wasn't her. So then these people at the event, these 200 people, they took photos, videos, and stuff of this photo that wasn't of the plaintiff, because that's the world we live in today. Phones out. So they took photos, videos of this picture that the cast member alleged was Brit Eady, but it wasn't. So it didn't stop there, because it didn't stop at the 200 people, because now on 6 April 2025, the episode depicting the event was aired. So now it wasn't only limited to those 200 people. Now everyone who watches Real Housewives of Atlanta, Bravo, they all saw it. So it was distributed on a wider platform. A picture that wasn't a picture of the plaintiff. And the picture was really explicit. So then on 6 June 2025, it was time for suing and summons, because if someone presents something that isn't you and they widely distribute it, that's really damaging. It's mortifying. If you're allegedly making false statements about someone, it's quite damaging. If you allegedly falsely claiming that a photograph depicts someone when it isn't that person, is also quite damaging. And then people take photographs that falsely depict someone, is so incredibly dangerous. And then more people see it because it's aired on a wider platform. That's really damaging. Because you're spreading lies about someone, and that's incredibly damaging, because I think just as people, like, your character is really important. So if someone goes around lying about you on like a huge platform, and then people believe that that's you, it could really affect that person. It could affect your mental health, it could affect your relationships, it could affect your businesses because you're being lied upon. And if it starts messing with your business, that's a problem because that's your money. So, Brit Eady chose the legal route. Then we move on to paragraph 3, explaining the actions of the defendants. Remember, the defendants are Bravo, Truly Original, NBC, and the Mall, the Jane or John Doe, number 1 to 5. So, paragraph 3 is just explaining how the defendants allegedly aired the episode containing that footage that showed a photograph that wasn't the plaintiff. And I know myself, I know the pictures I take, so if I see a photo that isn't me, it's not right. So the defendants just distributed something fake and false. And they were really negligent. Really, really bad. It also says that the manner in which the episode was aired implied that these graphic photos depicted the plaintiff, Brit Eady. So basically, allegedly, the defendants aired a Real Housewives of Atlanta episode with footage that had a photo that wasn't the plaintiff. In other words, it wasn't Brit Eady. And even when the plaintiff asked, "Can I see the photos before the episode airs?" the defendants refused, allegedly. So it's really, really not good. Also, paragraph 3 talks about how the defendants contributed to a hostile work environment. They subjected the plaintiff to unwelcome comments based on her gender. That's gross. So I think paragraph 1, 2, 3 kind of lay out the facts a little bit. So what relief is the plaintiff seeking? And that is in paragraph 4. So first of all, the plaintiff wants the immediate removal of this episode that aired on 6 April 2025. She wants it removed. And I understand because the episode is depicting a picture that is really explicit and it's not her. Second, she wants a public statement from the defendants. So she wants Bravo, NBC, and the Mall, the Jane, John Doe, 1 to 5, to make a public statement that this cast member and the photo that this cast member showed at the event is not the plaintiff. Third, the plaintiff is seeking a monetary award. The amount is to be determined at a trial. Fourth, she wants punitive damages against the defendants, either jointly and severally or individually. And lastly, she wants the legal costs to basically be paid for. So, yeah, it's really, really damning. I don't know why you would depict a photo alleging that it's someone when it's not, especially an explicit photo. It's not good. So, where the defendants fail to appear in court, then they are to pay the default sum of $20 million. That's a lot of money with interest. So that's what I'm saying. The defendants are in a really tight spot. Either they decide, okay, we're gonna go up here, but won't that lead to, like, they have to present evidence, and that evidence could maybe show that they knew that this photo wasn't Brit Eady, or they could choose to settle. I don't know if they settle if they pay this $20 million, unless the defendants can prove that that photo is of the plaintiff. But I know the photos that I take, and I know when I take them, because I'm very specific and finicky about my photos. So I'm sure the plaintiff is like that way. So I don't know. It is a lot of money. I don't know how this is going to pan out, because the allegations are really serious. Sharing an explicit photo of someone that isn't the plaintiff. So if it isn't the plaintiff, who is it? And this cast member, why are they showing explicit photos of another woman? Yeah, the allegations are really serious, because defamation is a really sensitive topic. Because like I said, as a person, your reputation, your character, who you are, it's really important. It's kind of like how you make a first impression. So if someone makes a statement about you and they say, this is you, but you know that that statement is false, that's really going to affect you. It's going to affect your character. It's going to affect how people perceive you. It's going to affect you in the long run. It's going to affect how you do business, because now people think, oh, this person takes these kind of photos. We don't want to work with this person. So I don't know. It's really, really unfortunate. And I guess we'll see how the defendants handle this. If I was in the defendant's shoes, I would settle, because I think if you choose not to settle, then the plaintiffs would need access to, that episode and maybe some unaired footage. What if it comes about that the defendants knew that this picture wasn't of the plaintiff? So now they're admitting to a wrongful act. It's a tangled mess. I would settle. I don't know if settling is an admission of guilt, or if you just want to move on, or if you don't want to take it to trial. So this 20 million, for me, how I see it is, the plaintiff will get the 20 million only if the defendants fail to appear in court. So it's not guaranteed. Only if the defendants fail to appear. So I don't know. I don't know if it would be wise for the defendants to appear, because then they would be admitting that they lied. It's a mess. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's gonna be really, really interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen because these are some really serious allegations. Anyway, I am gonna take a 2-minute break. Oh wait, hold on. Before the 2-minute break, I saw that you had posted something on Instagram about the reunion. I love Real Housewives reunions. They are like epic, the best. She says in her post, "I'm not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of the season have devastated me. And while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. That photo was not me." As the episode makes clear, I didn't see the photo at the time. I was made aware that the photo was being presented. So she assumed that the photo was her. But she doesn't know who's in the photo, but it isn't her. It's not her. And I can't understand why she's not going to the reunion. Because I don't know if you can interact with someone you're having a lawsuit against. Because, and I never used to understand this, even though I used to love watching legal shows like Law and Order, Criminal Intent, Law and Order SVU. Anything you say can and will be held against you. So it wouldn't be wise for her to go to the reunion. So I think she made a good choice not to go. Also, I don't know if at the reunion the other cast members are going to be allowed to talk about her. Obviously, they can't. I don't think they can talk about this lawsuit because Bravo, which Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is an extension of Bravo, which is in the lawsuit, that I don't know if they can talk about it. Because also for them, anything they say can and will be used against them. So the reunion should be interesting. So yeah, I think it's wise she's not going. But yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, now I'm gonna take my 2-minute break, and then afterwards I will discuss the Justin Baldoni dismissal. So the 2-minute break starts now. Alrighty, 2-minute break is over. Now I am going to briefly go through Justin Baldoni's dismissal. So, his lawsuit was dismissed. I was so shocked. Again, went to Courthouse News Service. It says judge ends Justin Baldoni's $400 million countersuit. Yeah, I was really, really, really surprised. I honestly was stunned. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right into it. The judge was Lois J. Lehman. I hope I'm saying it right. Who is a United States District Judge, as we see here. Okay, so the defendants, in other words, Lively, Reynolds, Sloan, Vision PR, and the New York Times, they are seeking to dismiss the amended complaint of Wayfarer Studios each. So you just want to dismiss it. They want to dismiss the amended complaint that was brought by the plaintiffs. In other words, Wayfarer, Baldoni, Heath, Nathan, Abel, and Sorowitz. So the defendants, we call them Team Lively, they want to dismiss the amended complaint brought by the plaintiffs, we call them Team Baldoni. So from my understanding, the defendants, aka Team Lively, they are seeking to dismiss the complaints brought by the plaintiffs, Team Baldoni. Because this is from Justin's complaint, where the relief that the plaintiffs were seeking $400 million. So I think they want to dismiss Justin Baldoni's complaint so as not to pay Justin. Maybe. I don't know. Because $400 million, it's a lot of money. Alright, let's go on. This sentence piqued my interest, where it says Lively, Sloan, and Reynolds, aka Team Lively, they moved to strike Exhibit A. So I was like, what is Exhibit A, and why do the defendants want to strike Exhibit A? So remember, Sloan is Blake Lively's publicist. So as I read on, Exhibit A is basically a timeline, just providing a summarized account of the sequence of key events. Why they want to strike it, I don't know. The only reason you would want to strike something is maybe there's something in there that you don't want people to have access to. And I think that has to do with the text messages between Blake and Taylor. Because I don't know why, when I read Justin's countersuit was dismissed, I was kind of confused. And I was like, okay, this cannot be the end of it. Because what I've learned in studying law, you can use different strategies or tactics or whatever. So maybe Justin Baldoni's team, because they used Exhibit A, showing the timeline, it includes that Blake was texting Taylor. So maybe the judge essentially allowed Team Baldoni access to the messages is because Justin's team really laid a good foundation. I think. That's what I think. Let's look at the procedural history, because that in of itself is wild. Like, being involved in a legal battle, a legal situation, it costs money. You have to pay the lawyer and the fees and all of that, and these parties file so many times, like, they have money. But I understand why Justin does it, because he wants justice. So on 31 December 2024, Lively starts first. She filed a complaint. Then on 16 January the next year, the Wayfarer parties filed. Then on 30 January 2025, the court ordered the parties to show cause. Then the next day, the Wayfarer parties filed an amended complaint. Then on February 3rd, the court held an initial pretrial conference. On February 2025, Sloan, which remember is Blake Lively's publicist, and Vision PR, they filed a motion to dismiss. Then on March 6th, the Wayfarers filed a memorandum opposing this motion. Oh my God. Then on March 13th, Sloan and Vision PR filed a reply to this. Then on March 17th, Sloan and Vision PR moved to stay discovery pending. That motion was denied. Then, and this still shocks me, on March 18, Ryan filed a motion to dismiss, I think the claim against him. Then on 1 April 2025, Wayfarer filed a memorandum opposing that. Then on 9 April, Ryan filed a reply. Oh my God. Then on March 20, Blake Lively filed a motion to dismiss the memo with declaration of counsel with, I guess you only had one exhibit. Then on April 3rd, Wayfarer filed a memo opposing that. Then on April 10, Lively filed a reply memorandum. So it's just back and forth and back and forth. It's a lot. A lot of time in court. A lot of money. Let me go on to page 37, where basically it discusses the legal standard in proving or showing what needs to happen for a motion to be dismissed. It says here, determining whether a complaint, determining whether a complaint meets the legal standard for dismissal, it requires the court to draw on its judicial experience and common sense. I think also it's at the judge's discretion. So I guess that's the legal standard. Then it says the wayfarer parties have not adequately alleged that Lively's threats were wrongful extortion. The wayfarer parties have not shown that some of Lively's alleged extortionate acts damaged them. So basically, I think the court is saying that Wayfarer failed in proving that Lively was extorting them. And also, the parties failed to show that Blake's acts of extortion damaged them. So I guess the court is saying they failed the legal standard. There's a lot of jurisdiction stuff on page 38. So for example, the wayfarer parties are pleading their claims under California law, but Sloan, Reynolds, and the Times argue that New York law applies to the claims against them. This dispute is important because New York and California law differ in a number of ways relevant to the wayfarer parties' claims. So I don't know if arguing jurisdiction is, I don't know if it's a delaying tactic, because I think that is true. Like New York law and California law, it's a bit different. So was it smart of them? Is it a delaying tactic? But essentially, the judge granted, he said the motions to dismiss are granted, as we see on page 132. But it says that the wayfarer parties, aka Team Baldoni, they can file a second amended complaint by June 23rd, so by Monday. So I guess again they're giving the other party a chance to file a second amended complaint. Again, I was incredibly shocked and surprised to see that Justin Baldoni's lawsuit being dismissed, because when I read it, I was like, wow, it was so detailed, it was so thorough, so organized. But again, when I saw that his lawsuit was dismissed, I was like, no, this can't be the end of it. So I think in a way it's good that it was dismissed, because now the judge has allowed Taylor Swift and Blake Lively's private texts. So maybe Lively's team saw the dismissal as a victory, but for me the victory is the judge giving Justin access to Blake and Taylor's messages. So at first I thought it was, I wanted to know how the judge arrived at that conclusion, which we'll go through now. But, okay, this is from page 6. It appears that a trial is still happening. It says here, March 2026 trial. So, again, I'm not sure the dismissal is a victory. yeah, I wouldn't want, I mean, there's nothing wrong with my text messages. Text a lot of soccer stuff, a lot of cat gifts, but yeah. So might seem good that it was dismissed, but it's a victory because Justin Baldoni gained access. I'm just curious, if Blake and Taylor still talk. It says here the legal drama has caused a rift between the pop icon and Lively. I can imagine, because no one wants to be involved in the legal process. It is so draining, costs money, your name is out there, your reputation, and just being dragged into this, it ain't right. So, Baldoni gained access to the private texts between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, but the access is limited. The scope is limited to messages about the phone. In other words, it ends with us. So, the judge's reasoning for granting Justin access to the messages is because they may be relevant to the case. So it's Lois J. Lehman again. Says I got this document from Deadline, so you guys should read it for yourselves. It says Blake Lively moves for a protective order, relieving her from producing documents that the Wayfarer parties saying which request all documents and communications relating to or reflecting Lively's communication with Taylor Swift relating to the movie It Ends With Us. So basically it's saying, I think Blake had wanted a protective order, preventing these messages from coming out. It goes on to say the Wayfarer parties have not yet received any communication between Lively and Swift. So this is what I was looking for. I wanted to know what the judge's reasoning was. And I found it. It says Lively herself has identified Swift as someone likely to have knowledge about complaints or discussions regarding the working environment on the set of It Ends With Us. So nobody was forcing Blake. She presented it herself. So that's what I think that's what the judge's reasoning was, because Lively herself, no one forced her to. And then it says it's limited to communications about the film It Ends With Us. So it's very limiting, I guess, in an effort to protect someone's privacy. It goes on to say Lively, so again, it was Blake Lively who made it, well, not made it seem, she represented that Swift had knowledge of the complaints or discussions about the working environment of the film. So the requests for the messages with Swift are reasonably tailored to discover information that would prove or disprove Lively's claims. So it's very limiting. So because Lively stated Swift has knowledge of what happened on the film, those texts might be useful. So that was the judge's reasoning. So now I understand why the judge granted Justin access. So yeah, it's getting really heated. I wonder if Taylor and Blake still talk, how Ryan and Blake are doing, because it's getting really heated. Perhaps the dismissal isn't too much of a victory because Lively and Swift's messages can still be used. Remember, within the parameter of it has to be messages about the movie, what Taylor Swift knew about the complaints. That's it. But it's still really bad. It's not good. So I wonder if the messages will be made public. It's a PR nightmare. And you can't fight the law, like legal stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I wonder if there's a trial, if it'll be televised. I wonder. It's a mess. So all in all, none of this is pleasant because, again, as I said, no one wants to be caught up in the legal system, going to court, having strangers dig through your personal life. It's really invasive. So I think that's why when you decide, I'm going to take the legal route. So if you decide to take the legal route, you have to be prepared to fight and back up your claims. So I'm going to end this Justin Baldoni, segment by quoting paragraph 217 of his complaints. Okay, it says, and I quote, the case is a simple one. Lively used her power to steal a movie from its director, Justin, and production studio. Then she held them hostage to her incessant demands by extortionate threats to destroy what they had left. All the while, she failed to understand the heart and soul of the movie. When her thoughtless promotions fell flat because they focused on flowery glamour and cross-merchandising opportunities for her own brands, rather than centering the voices of survivors, she finally got a taste of accountability and she did not care for it. She made one final demand to plaintiffs, that they finally and forever fall on the sword for her by apologizing for things they had not done. When they refused, the defendants' gloves came off and they used their power and resources to try to take down plaintiffs for good by coordinating with Jones and Sloan. They nearly pulled it off too. I agree. They nearly did. Like, if nothing comes from the movie, it ends with us, it's gonna be this. And it's sad because it's a movie that sheds light on a very serious topic, DV. But now I don't know that people will remember it ends with us for that. All they're gonna remember is this legal drama that I think, in my opinion, was started by Blake. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I mean, there appears to be a trial set for March 2026. Will it be televised? If it is, I will be watching. But yeah, it's been a wild legal tug of war. It's literally insane. Alrighty, I did my best to go through some American legal content. A bit out of my purview, but I try to the best of my ability. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. I love some appreciative feedback. If you're a regular viewer, you know I hate littering. My mantra has always been, stop littering. Please stop littering, note takers. We only have one planet, so let's all do better. Stop littering and look after our planet. Don't litter, do better. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I am the CEO / employee / boss, and this channel is my daily bread. It's my job, so help a lady out by subscribing. We're on the road to 250 subscribers, so subscribe, share, comment, like. I hope you guys will stay tuned and that you watch new videos. In closing, I shall say, first, thank you for listening. Second, don't litter, do better. Third, make sure to check out Courthouse News Service. You can read about American civil litigation news, and it really helps in understanding American law. And lastly, see you soon. Thank you so much, NoteTakers. Until next time.